Hey guitar fanatics, do you ever wish practicing guitar wasn't always about scales and exercises? I mean, how awesome would it be if there were 5 simple daily practice habits that didn't require memorizing patterns or slogging through music theory? Even better, what if these 5 daily habits were not only fun, but they had the potential to make your guitar progress skyrocket? Well, today is going to be a good day because these habits do exist. I'm going to teach them to you now. So get fired up, grab your guitar, and let's get into daily habit number 1, which is playing melodies by ear. It's so easy to get stuck in our heads when we're just practicing scales and arpeggios, and our playing starts to sound really robotic and mechanical. One of the quickest and best ways I know to make your playing more musical is to start using your ears more and to just play simple melodies on the guitar. And by simple melodies, I mean everything you hear. Jingles on the radio, the theme song to your favorite news program or TV show. Hearing some music and trying to recreate it without sheet music or tabs sitting in front of you, it does wonders for your playing. One of my favorite ways to practice is to try to recreate as accurately possible great vocal parts by great singers, especially ballads. Why? Because that's usually where great singers are going to be at their best and most expressive. Now, I grew up loving Journey and Steve Perry. Think about the ballad Faithfully. Now, I believe that song was in the key of B, and I can still hear the melody so clearly. Let me give it a try. And then Neil Sean comes in with this little fill. Classic. Now, getting your ears in tune with vocal melodies really helps your ear pick out guitar parts too. When we play melodies, we're not only developing our ears, we're developing our ability to get what we hear in our head out through our hands. Playing melodies will not only make you a much better guitar player, it's just going to make you a better musician. Try to spend a few minutes at it every day. I think you'll like the results. Now, this concept dovetails nicely into our second daily habit, and that is stealing licks. So I happen to be a huge fan of learning licks by players that you admire, with one caveat. Learning a lick in and of itself might help you with your technique, and that's cool, but the real value in stealing licks comes from what you do with that lick after you initially learn it. Just being realistic, we probably don't have the time to learn a new lick every day. But I guarantee you we have the time to take licks that we've already learned and try to adapt them to new musical situations. And you're never going to truly own a lick until you can take it and play it in some sort of a different musical setting than you heard it originally. For instance, I love the playing of Pink Floyd's David Gilmour. I can remember the first time that I heard Another Brick in the Wall Part 2 and the licks that David played to open his solo to that song. Now, the first one, well, that's a stone cold blues lick. Then we have that little chord stab. And then one of David's trademark compound bends, followed by more bluesiness. Killer stuff, not overly complicated, but very soulful. Now, what kind of things could we do with those licks to improve our playing on a daily basis? Well, how about playing those licks in random different keys? So instead of playing it in the original key D minor, let's play the licks in a weird key like A flat minor. Or try this. David's playing, it's already pretty bluesy. What if we play these licks over a straight up blues shuffle? Lastly, we could do something really crazy, like convert the licks from minor to major and play them over a backing track groove that sounds like, I don't know, the Allman Brothers or the Grateful Dead. Check it out. Now, when I play those licks over the major backing, I had to adapt them a little bit, but that's what makes them feel like they're mine now instead of something that I just copied. That's how learning other people's licks can help you build your own vocabulary and style. Remember this too, I think it was Paul McCartney that said, "Good artists borrow, great artists steal." Now it's time to move on to daily habit number 3, which is all about working on our time feel. So time feel is something that I think is very misunderstood. I know players that struggle holding a groove and they think that the problem is with their technique. Is it in my wrist? Am I holding my pick wrong? The most common cause of poor time feel, in my humble opinion, isn't a direct mechanical problem. It's caused by poor listening skills. And we develop poor listening skills because as guitarists, we get too stuck in our own heads trying to remember all the technical gunk that we're always practicing. We literally stop listening to the music and musicians that we play with, or even our own metronomes when we're just practicing. And it causes us to kind of go off into our own little worlds. The fix for that, and something that we should be practicing every day, is to play things that are simple, that we don't have to think about, like the first pattern of A minor pentatonic, along with a metronome or drum loops. So the first thing we want to do is just listen to the beat. Really get the groove in our head and get your foot tapping, get your head bobbing, get your fingers snapping. Then and only then start to play. And we're going to play the pentatonic scale in eighth notes 2 ways. First, really straight, and I mean like robot straight, trying to bury the beat. Next, play it with some swing, and by that I mean think of playing triplets like this. And then drop the middle note of the triplet. Then to really have some fun, play along with a drum track where the beat drops out at random spots here and there. You're going to find out how good your groove really is. Now, I'm sure you can find tracks like that online, or if you have a DAW and some drum loops, well, you can make your own. I'm going to play the A minor pentatonic scale. I'm going to go through the different patterns over a drum loop I made where the beat drops out in random spots. Wish me luck. Well, okay, that was pretty fun. You can actually make a game out of this. It's a good challenge and you'll probably have a few laughs in the process of developing better groove. On to daily habit number 4. If you want your playing to sound polished, professional, and musical, you need to spend a little time every day working on phrasing. Now, when I say phrasing, I'm talking about the ornaments or embellishments that we put on notes to make our playing sound more like a human voice. The big 3, of course, are slides, bends, and vibrato. Spend a little time every day making sure your bends are in tune. Man, nothing is more of an instant turnoff than hearing a guitarist that can't bend in tune. You can practice this when you're warming up. Try something as simple as picking a single note, let's say the B note at the 12th fret. So play that B note and then slide down a half step and bend up into B, making sure it's in tune. Do the same thing now, but slide down a whole step and bend back up to B. We can even get crazy and drop down a minor third or 3 frets and bend back up to B. And here's a really cool exercise. Let's play the G major scale on the B string. Start at the G on the 8th fret, slide to fret 7, which is F sharp, and bend it up into G. Play the A at the 10th fret, slide down into G and bend up into the A. We can do that up the entire string. And when we're feeling good about our intonation, let's put some nice bent note vibrato on each note that we bend up into. Now we're actually practicing 3 different ornaments with that little exercise: slides, bends, and delayed bent note vibrato. Pretty cool. Here's one more great exercise. Take a generic little lick like this E minor pentatonic lick and spend a few minutes experimenting with how many different ways you could apply different phrasing. We could do some slides, we could do a bunch of bends, and we could combine slides and bends. If you can't come up with 4 or 5 different ways to phrase a lick right off the top of your head, it's a sure sign your phrasing needs serious work. Practice different types of vibrato, from subtle classical vibrato to wide rock and roll vibrato. Practicing all this stuff acclimates your ears, and trust me, it's going to come out in random ways when you solo and improvise. But you do have to practice it. It's not just going to magically materialize in your playing one day. Now for our 5th and final daily habit, I want you to have some fun and just play some songs. There's this weird trend that I've noticed for a while now, where students get obsessed with technique and they don't play actual songs. Now, when I was learning to play, one of the biggest reasons that we all wanted to play music was that it's fun to get together with your buddies and play music in front of other real live people. Our buddies thought we were cool, and once we started to get pretty good, we started to attract some attention from the people we wanted to attract attention from, if you know what I mean. And for me, being able to play songs and play them well was the payoff for all the hard work I'd put in learning technique. I recall seeing a video of the great Guthrie Govan doing a clinic and sort of admonishing the audience for this very thing, that music was meant to be played by real live people with other real live people in front of an audience of real live people. And of course, a big key to being able to play in front of people is knowing some songs. And to this day, as long as I've been playing, I can be in a horrible mood, and all it takes to get out of it is to get a good tone going and to play something like this. That never gets old. So every day, play a song or 2 or 10 and play them all the way through. Get up and jump around. Let your inner rock star shine. It's good for the soul. So there you go. 5 practical daily practice habits that I promise will help you make big leaps in your guitar playing. No theory, nothing to memorize. All of this stuff is just about making your playing more polished and more musical. Sometimes we guitarists, we get so isolated learning techniques. We kind of forget what being a musician is all about. Try this stuff out. Let me know what you think and how you do with it. Thanks for watching. Like the video, hit that subscribe button. Have fun with that guitar. I'll be seeing you soon.